Well, what clicked? Was it losing 60 grand and going like, I can't do this another year?
What had clicked to me was stop doing 10,000 different things and just do one thing great.
That's so cool.
After I had lost 60 grand, I had blown through all my money. I had 2 grand left in my bank account, but I had deals in the pipeline that just had to close.
All right, welcome back to the Cash Flow Corner podcast. Today we have David Choi, the ultimate guru.
No, don't do that.
No, the guru. And how many times you heard guru today?
I hate the word guru. I'm not a guru. I'm a real estate guy. Don't put me in the category.
The whole no, because I call my dad a guru. All right, so you're going to the dad guru of wholesaling, training, changing people's lives in that industry. Because I don't know a lot about wholesaling until really I met you. So, welcome, brother.
Cool, man. Well, it's a pleasure. It's an honor to be on the show.
Yeah.
Spencer, it's been a long time. Last time we hung out, you were on my show.
That was the first podcast I've ever been on.
No way.
Yep.
Cool.
So, it was the first one I went on. I was like, okay, yeah, I think I like this. And then one day I sent you an email. I said, bro, can you send me the list of your stuff on your podcast?
Yeah.
Like, sure. And then I saw the price and I was like, fuck this. I'm not going to do it anytime soon. And then I met Austin. He met me he reached out to me on Instagram. I was just like, let's do something together. And I was like, all right.
Love that.
Let's just start filming a little bit. So, so that's basically where we're at. So what I want to do a little bit is I want to talk about two things. One, upstairs, we talked about some really cool stuff, right? Because I'm obviously just started maybe a couple months into the webinar industry. I'm learning about basically selling people on a product that changed everything I did. And you're in that spot where you're selling a product that changed basically a lot of stuff you have done. But I want to back into the wholesaling a little bit.
Cool.
I want to know, where were you and what came into your head when you decided to do wholesaling? Where it all really started.
Cool. So I think it would be good just to kind of give like a high level just primer of like everything that's going on right now. So I'm the founder and CEO, co-founder and CEO of Leverage Companies, real estate private equity. We have various subsidiaries. One of them is like a real estate wholesaling, real estate acquisition vehicle. We have a holdco where we buy and hold properties. And then we have a DSCR lending company where we do rental loans for real estate investors. On the DSCR front, we're doing about like close to about $700 million of DSCR loans a year.
Wow.
On the wholesale side, it's really just an acquisition vehicle for us, right? So we'll pull in 2-3 deals every single day right now. Like every day I'm locking up 2-3 deals, 6 days a week. And what we get to do is choose the ones that we want to buy and hold in our portfolio,
right.
Fix it, buy it to renovate it and sell it, or the ones that just aren't grand slam deals, we'll just wholesale them out to other real estate investors. So kind of what the genesis story of how it all began was me and my partner being just two broke kids. I think I was 20. Yeah, I was 23. Eric was 24, and we had 2 nickels. We say 2 nickels, but we actually had $5,000 total. That's what we had in our pockets. Yeah. And we knew that we wanted to create a multi-billion-dollar company. That was for sure. We knew that the most fragmented space in this fragmented asset class in the real estate space was the small to mid-cap multifamily space, SFRs all the way up to like 20 units. Yeah. That's where from all the underwriting that we've done in the past, we found that those deals had the highest IRRs. Like I was in private equity real estate. I would underwrite a 500 unit deal, and it would be an incredible blessing if it was like a 20% plus IRR. Yeah. And then I would underwrite a 3-family in my backyard and be like, wait a second, how is this 10,000 IRR? I thought the spreadsheet was broken because it would be like 600, 700% IRR deals. Yeah. So I was like, this doesn't make sense. Why is it that the return profile on these smaller deals is so much higher than on these larger institutional deals? And it's because the time velocity of money is so much faster, right? You get in on a deal, you invest, and then typically 6 to 9 months later, if you find a good deal, you get all your money out plus some on the refinance. So the velocity of capital enables you to have like ridiculous return profile. So that's kind of where me and Eric decided, like, all right, we're going to focus in on the SFR, small to mid cap multifamily space. Eric had come from the lending side. I had come from the equity side. But we're still two broke kids not knowing shit about shit. So what do? We do what you have to do. You make money. Eric brokered loans, and I was wholesaling properties. So we got together, started like I had been wholesaling, cold calling literally every day on my cell phone for a year. Eric had been brokering loans to hard money lenders for a year. And we get together and we're like, let's put our money and our hats together and build something great. So we start investing in a dialer. Like that, instead of cold calling your cell phone, let's invest in like a software that allows you to call 5 people at one time.
Yeah.
We were like, oh my gosh, you could do this? Right? So we get a dialer that allows you to call 5. So then we do that. And I remember the first person that picked up when me and him figured it out. First person, Lynn. And set up an appointment, locked up the deal that day. And we're like, bro, this dialer thing is awesome, right? And then we're like, all right, let's figure out how to not cold call 100 people to get one person that says yes, right? 2 people that say yes.
Yeah.
So then we hired a call center, right? Then we hired agents. Like we would hire 3 agents to cold call to get people interested in selling. And then I would take the leads. I would lock up the deal, and Eric had a large network of investors because he was brokering hard money loans, right? Yeah. So he would sell the loans, he would sell the deals to them and do the loan. So we would double dip. And then we just started like making money, me and him just slinging deals. Then we hired a transaction coordinator to kind of do the paperwork stuff for us. Hired my friend to help him, Eric, process loans. And then And then we just started making money. Like we were like, oh my gosh, we know how to make money now. And we just started reinvesting back into the business. We hired the next guy, and then we hired the next girl, and then we hired the next guy, hired the next girl. And then next thing you know, we're like having to pay the federal government and the state government hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in income tax. And we're like, wow, we gotta buy rentals, you know? And so it just kind of kept rolling and we've, over the past few years, just kept working our way up the food chain from wholesaler brokers to buyers, managing a portfolio. Now we have a fund. We originate loans off our, we fund loans and we sell them to the secondary. And we're just still on the path to working our way up the food chain. I feel like every time you get on the top of one step, you're at the bottom of the next. So we just keep working our way up the ladder. And now we have 66 US-based employees and almost 40 overseas. So yeah, we just crossed the 100 person mark, and we're just going, man. We just, all the glory to God. Like every day we just work our neck off, and as often just
keep seeing the results, bro.
Yeah, we just keep pushing and just keep asking God for help, and He just keeps giving it to us, So
I love it, dude. I mean, I remember I was in your old office, and I remember it was so much fun. Like the energy was insane there, and I just remember, I don't know, there was something about it, and I watched the video of you and one of the guys who I met there wrestling and stuff and everything, and I'm just like. It's such a you thing, but the funny thing about it is like running a company now and scaling into that level is that positive employee work field is how you retain these employees these days, right? When you create this workflow that's just like awful workflow, right? There's so many rules, so many regulations, all this stuff, and that positive energy, bro. Getting the fact that you can get people on a Saturday to work.
Oh yeah, every Saturday.
And it was funny because off topic, but it's related to you and your old office, is Tony Robbins was in town. I bet you knew when he was in town. He was crazy in Newark. So I was going up, it was a 4-day event, and it was Thursday, Sunday, and I would go by your place. That's just the route it would take me. And the parking lot you have, and your Porsche's in there every single day from when I went to the event to when I left the event. And I was leaving the event at like 10, 11 at night.
Yeah. And
I remember it was Sunday. And I was like, all right, got to be there at 10. And I leave at like 9, boom, your car's there. Leave at 10, boom, your car's there. And we're going in my head, I'm like, this kid works so much. It's Sunday, right? He could be doing anything. He could be out with his girlfriend. He could be out with mom. He could be out whoever he wants to be with. And it was at that point, I was like, okay, like it took me for a second. I sat in my car and I was like, I need to change what I'm doing. And I was with my driving mom. She's like, oh, and I was like, that's the guy I went on a podcast. It was the first podcast I ever went on. And he was asking me real estate stuff. And I was at that moment, I clicked, I was like, oh, there's so much more I need to do. And so that podcast changed what I needed to do. Wow. But I remember driving back and forth going like, okay, I'm wasting weekends. Like I know what I'm doing now is going to help me long term because it's Tony Robbins. It was amazing. It's all that stuff.
Heck yeah.
But like now what do I do after that? What do you do after the event? You don't go like, all right, I'm hyped up. I have so many ideas. No, I need to take back and understand like, okay, what do I want to start? What do I want to do? And during that event, that's when I started the webinar stuff. I was like, I knew I had a passion for helping people. It was really hard for me to go like to really charge a lot because like we talked about upstairs, I loved just doing that and I loved the change. But also I was like, she's like, well, what is really bugging you about it? I was like, it's not bugging me. It's honestly, it's motivating me because I have weekends where I'm sitting at home watching a show and doing all that, but I could be doing other things, right? I could be getting the company to the next level. I could be starting new things, right? And then we started the construction company. Yeah. And I was spending nights and nights going like, okay, how do I get to this? How do I get the money to that? And like finally, it's awesome. Like when we go into the program we're using for the company, for the construction company, you're just like, boom, there's the profit. Boom, there's the profit. Here's the next. Every day we're doing 2 or 3 contracts.
Love it.
And I'm just like, okay, those weekends, that weekend, seeing your car in that lot allowed me to create this company, and I'm watching revenue from someone's fucking car in their parking lot, right?
Wow.
And so it was like off-topic story, but it's pretty cool that like you can have an impact because of the car you drive. And the only reason why I knew that is because I think when we went out to dinner, you're like, yeah, dude, I got the car. And I remember I was telling my mom too, I was like, yeah, like after dinner, we went out to dinner at the podcast. I was sitting with Dave in his car, and he was telling me, he's like, yeah, but I'm don't know the direction. I know what I want to do. I want to keep going and going and going. I remember telling him, like, you have to go and find someone who's going to get you to the next level because you're not going to do it alone. Because your buddy, and like, look, my dad's helped me to get me to where I am. My employees have helped me get to the next level, right? Because they relieve a certain task that you don't have to do anymore. And I said, but I needed that one person where I go home, they help me get to the next level. I didn't need to go home and talk about work, but I needed them to understand the late nights, the weekends, the early mornings, and that would have motivated me, right? And I remember sitting in your car because I had found that person at that time.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, I know I need to do it, bro. I know I need to do it. And like sitting here now, and you're just like, yeah, dude, I did it. Yeah, I found that. And then we talked about the penthouse, and I was like, dude, go get that house you wanted.
Yeah.
Like, go and do it. You've earned it. You deserve it. You don't have these milestones as you get through everything, then there's no point, right? Like, you're hitting the milestone where you're like, I want the next office. Why? Because I want to give something better for my team. My team needs a positive space or whatever your motive was for that, right? And I think when I create the webinar, I think it was creating that more positive flow for people. The stuff I learned, I could teach you how to do that. I could teach you how to scale, but I can also, everything was in the brain. Everything in your brain could change what you do, right?
Yeah.
You were able to do something a lot of people couldn't do, and it was being caring behind the phone, right? When you can care behind a phone and it can transition through that phone to that client on the other side, goes like, look, I know you're going through a tough time, and I know you don't want to sell your place, or I know you don't want to do anything with it, but let me be that person that's going to help you get through it. And I think that's how you change the game in wholesaling, right? Because people can wholesale. People can wholesale, right?
Yes,
They can wholesale at a level, and people can scale in wholesaling, right? People could buy real estate, or they can scale in buying real estate, right?
Yeah.
And so I think you've unlocked that watching the stuff on social media, knowing you in person, knowing the growth you've had, right, is tremendous. And I think what a lot of people do is they don't remember that. They don't remember how I got there, what I did. And I think, it's kind of cool because social media allows us younger generation to really see how we're doing. And it's pretty cool. And so, yeah, congrats, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I went on Rumble a little bit, but so I want to ask you so you create these companies, you did this, you scaled dramatically. We're on the cash flow corner. I want to know where you were year one. So you both started.
Yeah.
You scaled. You got to that level of like, shit, this is working. We're going. Where were you at year one, and where are you at now, basically, in the wholesaling side?
Year one, I lost $60,000.
Okay.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the skills. I didn't have the foundation. I didn't have a CRM. I didn't have anything. I just listened to podcasts. Mm-hmm. And everyone was saying, send out direct mail pieces, go door knocking, put up bandit signs. Everything works. It does, right? But what I did wrong was I did all of it at the same exact time. And I didn't have the systems and the infrastructure to kind of take in those leads and convert them into deals. The CRM, nor did I have the sales and real estate skills.
So you were able to get them, but you weren't able to store it properly.
So I lost 60 grand because I was spending all this money on direct mail, texting, cold calling, data, everything, bandit signs. I thought that if I spent money, I would make it in return, right? Because that's what every single podcast has to do for wholesaling. So I blew through 60 grand hoping that it would turn into money, but I didn't have the systems to convert those leads into deals. I didn't have the sales skills to convert those conversations into opportunities. I didn't have the underwriting skills to dictate whether or not the guy calling me and saying he wants a certain price was actually a good price, right? I was a moron blowing through money. That's what I was. But it was a year of a lot of learning. And then quickly after my year of losing 60,000, I had one deal close and I made 60,000. So I was right back to where I was.
Broke even now.
Yeah.
So, but what clicked? Something clicked on that last job where you're just like, okay, this is what I need to do? Or what clicked? Was it losing 60 grand and going like, I can't do this another year?
At the point after I had lost 60 grand, right? So right around the time me and Eric got together. So I had blown through all my money. I had 2 grand left in my bank account, but I had deals in the pipeline. I had about 12 deals under contract that just had to close, right? I had buyers lined up for them. And it was a pretty significant pipeline of probably close to like $250,000 of future revenue that I was waiting to collect. It's just the cash conversion cycle from the time I got the deal to the time I closed was a little long, right? So I had like 2.5 grand left. Me and Eric get together and then we partnered up. Then that 60 grand deal closes. I'm like, oh, thank God. Eric is consistently making money. What had clicked to me was stop doing 10,000 different things and just do one thing great. And so I pulled back all my marketing from direct mail to door knocking to bandit signs. And I just decided that I'm going to build one call center with 3 agents and then make it 5 agents, then make it 9 agents. And my call center till this very day makes me millions of dollars every single year. Now I have, obviously, the team is way bigger now. So we have an elite call center operation. We have text messaging rolling out. We have PPC.
This is all in-house?
Ads. Yeah. No, I outsource some things that I'm not good at. Call center texting, that's in-house. Facebook ads, that's outsourced.
Yeah.
Direct mail, it's outsourced. The data, we buy some data, but then we also decide, like internally, decide how that data is being.
And when you mean by buy data, you mean by for deal wise, you're going out and you're paying whether either a service or a price or how does that work?
Yeah, like data providers.
You don't have to give everything away.
I don't care. I do.
I'm trying to learn so much about this.
The good thing is that there's no such thing as secrets. It's all about implementation.
Yeah.
Alex Hormozi always says it. Give the secrets, sell the implementation. So I don't care. I've been talking. I'll tell it that you guys are going to do it anyway. For the most of you, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's true. People like to that's what I did for 4 years. I listened to podcasts just like this, and I sat there to education and not taking action. So I'm not scared. Like how often do people actually take it? I'm not scared to give it away.
No.
Right. So I use PropStream. I buy data from 80/20. That's like really motivated data. I skip trace and get phone numbers through IDI. I have a contract with them. If you guys get a contract with IDI, it's going to cost like 15 to 20 cents per phone number. But I worked out a really good deal with them, so I get it for cheaper.
Yeah.
The IDI is the best non-regulated data in the marketplace. It's better than PropStream data, Lead Sherpa, Batch. It's the best one. That's really what it is. I've gone through so many data providers and found that was the best one. And anyone worth their salt in the real estate investing space, at least in the wholesaling space, knows IDI is the best. The problem is you could buy all this data, but you need to know how to store it and implement it in the right way.
And that's the secret sauce, baby.
I
mean, that's what took you the longest to do, right?
It was hard as heck to figure that out. Yeah.
So, you're thinking back in the day, you're like, okay, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to call everyone, I'm going to get this information, I'm going to write it down on a notepad, I'm going to do, okay, but then what do I do, right? And I think that the biggest thing is what a lot of people don't understand is about running businesses, and with our courses that we run for businesses now, it's like, you don't stop investing that money. Matter of fact, it's 110% more.
Yeah.
It's so I look at it now when we do our quarterly reports or yearly reports and I'm like, wait, how much did we just spend in that?
Yeah.
How much are we spending in this? Travel? Oh, and then we have the marketing. And so recently I've been using international people as well. I use a thing called Upwork. I love Upwork. I'll go on Upwork. I'll find a trade I'm looking for. I'll use like 4 or 5 people. The best one, I'll use that person. And then we put them on our payroll system, give them their own email, and then we don't interact with Upwork anymore. I love it. It's one of the best things. And I'll get like 4 or 5 people for different marketing things. Someone great for ads, someone great just for social media, someone great to design this stuff. And it sucks a little bit. I feel so bad because like you can get people for fucking $200 a month, $500, $1,000 a month to do someone out here who's $80,000 or $90,000 a year. And the quality is not bad. It's the teaching side that takes a little bit, but what I started to figure out is everything's so expensive. The more you want to ramp up, the more you want to do things, the more money it costs. But you're at a spot where you've learned so much where you know like, hey, if I'm going to spend this amount of money, I know I'm going to get this result. I know I'm going to get that. What has been your biggest thing right now? You just said you hit the 100-person mark that you've noticed hiring people. And I would say out of everyone you've hired, right? So you have in-house bookkeepers, in-house, all that stuff, right? What has been the hardest person to hire in the company, you think, lately? Trait-wise.
Hardest to hire.
I guess, do you do the hiring? I assume you do.
No, I don't. I do the last round.
That's still hiring?
Yeah.
You make the final decision.
So, the hardest.
Like, you think salespeople are hard to hire?
No.
Because they're going to work for the commission.
It's hard. Every role is very similar. As you go up the food chain on the C-suite level, like a chief revenue officer, a chief marketing officer, a chief operating officer, like as you go up the food chain on each of each business line, it becomes harder to get that person because the amount of people out there that have the track record to deliver results at that level and manage the team and scale out a business is rare. So the food chain is obviously harder, but I think the hardest thing to find and the most important thing to find in people is just their drive. How much is somebody willing to suffer, right? Because if you have the will, there is a way, right? They say you need to have the will, the skill, and the kill if you want to be a killer salesperson. Mm-hmm. But it starts with the will. If you don't have what it takes to put in the work day in and day out and day in and day out, doesn't matter how skilled you are, doesn't matter if you have the killer instinct, you're going to be average or below average, or you might even just be above average, and
it's going to show.
Yeah.
Immediately.
You're just an ordinary man if you don't have the drive.
I'm so scared for that level. Like I'm getting to a spot where like I don't want to do HR anymore.
Oh, HR is terrible.
Fucking worst thing ever. Payroll, HR, but I'm so like HR. I think I can get rid of it. And to me, like I get so cheap where I'm just like, that's another expense. Here we go. Here's another expense, right? But like payroll scares me to this day. There's one thing where like I still do the final approvals on it. Like
I still do my final approvals on it.
Yeah, I want to see every single time. I want to see I know I'm really annoying with it. Looking at every bank account every single day. But I just think, like for me, like I'm so lean too. Like I'm so like they're a couple minutes late. All right, fine. They'll make it at the.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm so bad with it, dude.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
I used to be so anal with it, and now I just get to the point where I'm giving up because.
Dude, are they working? Like, are they staying late?
Yes, and they don't take lunches sometimes.
Okay, good.
So like that's where I go like 5-10 minutes late every day. I look at it as like disrespectful because I'm always early for everything, right? Like, so to me,
because how you do anything is how you do everything,
right? Like to me, if I'm late for something for you, it's because I don't care enough about being there, right? Now, if it's one thing you're like, hey, well, 80's been shut down, so that's been a little tough. You're playing at the best, or something, car accident like that. But if I'm just straight up like, yeah, I'll get there when I get there, and I know people like that, and I just go like, I'll leave the meeting. It's tough for me, but like, I don't know. I've been lenient on the employee thing. I want to get better at it. I don't really want to be in that role. And I think that's a stunt in the growth of like just going like non-tolerable and stuff,
You know what it is, bro? You know what I'm realizing? Because like I've been a terrible leader, and then I've had moments of where I show signs of being a great leader. I'm not perfect. Every day I'm in the pursuit of greatness. So I'm not saying that I'm like, but what I found that gets the best results out of every person in the company is when from the top, you take extreme ownership of every outcome. It ripples. It's a ripple effect across the entire organization. Like, so for me, we do our management structure is OKRs. Quarterly, we do objectives and key results by business line, by division. We set up SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time bound, and we get together and we set out what we're going to do over the next 90 days, right? I look at those OKRs and my forecasted revenue like they are my worst enemy. If we do not hit these goals, I will die. I will die to make sure, like that level. Like I look at my OKRs and I say, I do these as if my mom's life depends on these being hit. They're massive ownership to making sure every single thing I said I was going to do gets done. That level of integrity impacts other people around you.
Yeah.
You know, if you take that, even if like, so for example, like everybody has their own ownership, right? They're all responsible for doing their things. But for me, if they don't do it, it's my fault as the leader of the company. I'm taking ownership for not making sure that person has the leadership, that person on my team has the drive, that person on my team doesn't have the things cleared out of their way for them to stay focused. It's my fault. It's my fault. I own that. I own the outcome of them messing up because I wasn't good enough for them to be great.
Yeah.
So once that happens, what you find is that person says, man, my boss really cares. My boss wants the best for me because he expects nothing but the best. And when you get like every single person thriving to be the best version of themselves every single day, bro, you could run through walls. Like you just like the whole team is just rowing like a freaking Olympic team. It's amazing.
Well, you're having that upside, right? Where you're just like, hey, my goal is to make you the best person you could be, right? If I let you come in here and you do your same thing every day, people aren't being there. Like to me, I love that because like I push that same energy with these guys. Like if you go and you're doing a fit out for a property and there's so many things going wrong, I go like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? Like I go do it and nothing goes wrong. Things go boom, boom, boom. I'm like, but what am I teaching? That's not the same way that I just do it.
It's extreme ownership.
But I like, you know, but like I'll turn sometimes. I'm like, okay, imagine if you don't hit this deadline, you lose half your salary, right? But you're not going to do that. So it's like, to me, it's like not realistic. Now you're just going like, you're just putting something in my head that I know you're not going to lose half your salary. But it just goes like, but imagine if you own this building. And you know that's going to change your income completely if you don't finish this renovation on this time and the tenant can't move in, the tenant can't go from here. And it's like, so we get into these spots where I go like, I'm like, that's a waste of time. All you're doing is just, you're showing leadership in a punishment way, right? Because like, you don't do it, here's a punishment way. Or you go like, hey, watch me how I do this real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, it works out. Boom. Did you see what I did? Now ask questions. Why did you do that? Why did you do it that way? Right? So it's taken a long time. I think the biggest thing for me is like, the higher up roles you had mentioned were the hardest thing. The lower roles are the problem for me.
Oh yeah.
The administrative role.
Oh yeah.
Like how do I get the administrative people to have the same hype as the property managers, the marketing guys, the project managers?
So initially everything is like SOPs, right? Like but everyone thinks the SOPs is what solves all your problems. For me, it's who you hire is really important. First off, they just have to have drive, and I also make them. Everyone who joins my company, they have to take a cognitive ability test. I'm not hiring dum-dums, okay? You're dumb-dumb,
like
you're not on my
Like a whole
team.
10-hour test?
No, it's literally like a 20-minute test to see how fast your brain works. I'm not hiring you if you're not a high-functioning human being.
I mean, hell yeah, bro.
Yeah. You can't function on a high level. I can't work with you. That's the number one thing. That's my pet peeve is stupidity. Like,
all right, you have some more secrets. I mean, we're giving out cog screens to people.
Yeah.
That's it?
PIs, we do personality. So I want to make sure that their personality matches the role.
How long's the interview process? How many stages are we going through? I'm coming to work for you.
3 rounds.
3, okay.
It's really not that deep. It's you go through, obviously you go through an interview, first round with the recruitment team, you got to take a test. If you're smart enough.
That's the cog screen, the first one.
Yeah. So we resume screen, you're invited. We interview you, the first level, recruitment level interviews you if you're good and you have a decent cog and you have PI, then you go to the hiring, like the department head. If the department head likes you, then it goes to me or Eric. Your company is only as great as the people. The definition of a company is a group of people. So if you want a great company, you need great people.
Yeah.
So I don't want any dum-dum walking in my office that has weak drive, low cog, doesn't have what it takes to be great. I want people that stand by our mission of creating millionaires through real estate. If you don't have the will to become a millionaire, I can't help you become a millionaire. So don't come in my office pretending like you want to be a millionaire if you're going to be a 9-to-5er. Get up out of my office. Get out. I don't want you here. Leave. You're not going to be a millionaire being a 9-to-5er ever. Who said you're going to be a millionaire? I'm not working at 9-to-5. Wake up, buddy. Wake up. And if you're not willing to put in the work, get the F out. That's it.
Bro, we're doing CogStream starting tomorrow. Yeah.
I'm so passionate. Like, it's my mission. What it pisses me off is the people that say, I'm going to be a millionaire.
And
no, you not, you silly ass. Get your ass in the office, work your ass off, stay late, come in early, do what it takes to be great, and then say you'll be a millionaire. Stop lying to yourself.
Yeah.
You're just losing integrity every time you say that, son.
Yeah. Last year, my dad doesn't like it. I got rid of the word family.
Oh, it's not. It's not.
And I started saying we're team. Right? Because what teams do is they have the best interest for everybody on the team, right? My best interest is to make sure you could thrive. My best interest for him is to make sure you could thrive too. If we're a team and we can all thrive together, we'll be a power team, right? Family's done, right? We're not family. Because what happens is we used to be family and we had employees that we treated like family and it was really hard to fire them.
Yeah.
Oh, they screwed over hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was like, I can't do this no more. And so we hired a lot of great people, a lot of really good team people. And, we go to sporting events together. We do things together. We're just like, we're there for each other, right? And so, but my biggest thing is like, one, I've always had this motto where I can help you be a millionaire. I can help you get to 6 figures. I can help you do that. I don't care what your status is in this company. Yeah. If you end up being the doorman, if you listen to me, I can get you to CEO level. I can get you to investor. I can get you to principal. But that means you're going to be doorman. You're going to be there before me. And you're going to leave after me.
Bro, it's a simple freaking equation. Outwork everybody. That's it.
And you know what? And everyone goes, and look, there's going to be a lot of late nights and there's going to be a lot of sacrifice. A lot of sacrifice, right? You're going to miss holidays. You're going to miss family events. You're going to miss, things with your girlfriend. But that's why you get the one who understands, supports, and knows. And so you can see that drive you're going for, right?
Yeah.
And so for me, again, my biggest thing is like, I've had this thing where I used to pay really low. And I still do it to this day. I pay really low because I'm going like, remember, I'm paying you for an education. I'm going to educate you and I'm going to pay you. I'm not going to leave you at that salary for years. I'm going to leave you at that salary for 3 to 6 months. That is my deal to you. But you're going to suffer for 3 to 6 months, but I'm going to give you the best education, the best team, and the best environment to be in. By doing that, I'll get you to where you need to be. But everyone in our company has started at that salary.
Wow.
That's
pretty cool.
Even our international team. We have 7 international employees. They've started way lower than that. But every person in this office, including myself when I started with my dad, started at that salary.
Wow.
Which is way, very, very below. You have to live in your parents' garage and you have to have them feed you and you have to take the bus to work probably.
Wow.
But there was something when that happened to me where it drived me. Right. And that's when I created Commerce Park Ventures, is because I needed a way for banks to give me $10 or $15 million. And I figured out they weren't. So what I started going was like, you want money? You have money. You have money. And then I said, I remember telling my dad, I said, hey, there's this apartment in Morristown I really want. And at the time I was drinking heavy and I lived outside of it. And I said, look, I'm going to do it because it's a whole lot cheaper to pay for an apartment than a DUI. And which was a really stupid motto back then. And then I figured I couldn't afford it. So I cleaned up my life, started cleaning everything up. And I said, I remember I needed to make $150,000 a year to live there because they were like 3 times your income in order to live here. And I was making like $32,000 a year.
Wow.
And I was like, okay, how do I do this? Boom, fucking COVID hits. And I was like, all right, switch up. So I'm staying late in the office. I'm learning. I'm like, I got to create something. So I remember going to him and I said, look, if I can create a company that is based off of management fees, can I keep every single one? He's like, yeah, we could talk about it more, but like, sure, let me see what you got. So I said, we'll go and find properties. We'll raise the capital for these properties, but we'll take a management fee out to manage the properties and do all that. But I'll do everything. And then there'll be a fee for bookkeeping. But we'll create a fee structure that's so low that people will be like, this is great. It's not like other ones like 1% here, 7% here, 4%. We'll make it a flat fee of collected rent on all these buildings. Well, when you start doing 10, 20, $1 million properties and they have $1 million, $2 million rent rolls, take 4%, it's a really nice fucking payday, right?
Heck yeah.
So I was doing small properties, and then it was like 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand, 300 grand. And I was like, oh shit. So like in 1 year, I did like 105 grand.
Wow.
In 1 year, right? And I was like, go to the apartment. They're like, no. And I was like, fuck. So I go to my dad. I'm like, I can't do it. Really wanted to live here. Can't do it. And he's like, fuck that. So he's like, let's go over there. And so I was like, yeah, but like, what's the point? I don't want to go over there. I'm going to get my hopes up. I really want to live in downtown Morristown, live the culture. And he's like, no, fuck that, dude. So we go over there and he walks up right to the lady and he's like, what do we have to do? I have my son here. He's like, we just got to have, make 150 grand a year. He's like, what if I just pay all the rent 1 year? We'll pay the entire year's worth of rent, one bill right now. You give us a discount. And they're like, sure. So I was like, Dad, you don't have to do that for me. He's like, no. I want you to know how proud of, like, you win late nights. Like, we're putting PPP packages together to send to our tenants to have them pay us first, hopefully. Well, they fucking didn't. They went out and got a new car, paid their mortgage. And he's like, you went out and solved the problem. We kept all of our employees on payroll. And I was like, fine. Like, I guess that's what we're going to have to do. Well, you show them a bank account. They were happy with that. And so it's like, at that moment, I was like, okay, like the support system, right? Like the different things that happen there. And then I was like, okay, I'm good. I'm ready to go. Now I'm going to go a step farther. And a step farther, I was like, now I'm going to go back to my $30,000 salary. And I want Ventures to make so much money that we grow our team with it instead, because I did what I need to. I had that one goal. It's all I just wanted to live in this apartment.
Wow.
And so we did that, and our entire team here runs off Commerce Park Ventures, which is all fees off everything.
Are you serious?
The whole company, every employee is funded through that whole thing now.
Management fees now.
All management fees, right? Now internally, like, to run the company stuff, this comes from like my dad and I and everything.
Yeah.
But it's just like, it had that one thing, and like within 3 years we were able to change it. It's funny, like when I went on your podcast is when things started like booming. And I was like, okay, we got to do this. You're there. And so it was funny because like when I went on the podcast and I got to actually hear myself the first time actually say that stuff out loud and bring up stuff I haven't heard about and talk about. And the amount of people that were like, yeah, dude, we've never heard that side of the story. And I was like, yeah, it was the first year I worked for my dad. He didn't pay me anything. And I went through all my savings, sold my car, and lived with my dad. And then, like, it was small things like that where I know my dad would be like, no, I give you money if you need some money. But it was like the mental part of that was like a little struggle in my head where I was too nervous to ask for money. And I was too nervous to be like, Dad, can I have a salary? And I have no experience, no nothing. I can't provide you anything.
Yeah.
And at that moment, I was like, I'm going to go buy my first property. Went out, found my first property. Broker just said, somebody else bought it. And I was like, I was bummed out. He was away. Property came back. And I said, will you take my first offer? And they're like, will you raise 100 grand? I said, no. This is the thing. My dad was like, this is the max you could spend. And I was like, I got to give you this. And they're like, fine, we'll take it. 3 years later, I got my first distribution. And then, but like then you're rolling the next property and the next property and the next property. Yeah. And we met. And then I was like wholesaling in my head. I'm like, man, the amount of industrial buildings I get where I'm just like, no. I'm going like, damn, I could partner with someone, just be like, hey, here you go. Industrial properties. Flip 'em. Then I'm going to my head, I'm like, but you got to stay focused.
Yeah.
Like you're picking up something you don't need to pick up in right now. Then you're going to drag somebody else in it who has to trust your knowledge in it, right? Or you get down the road, get 15, 20 years worth of knowledge onto you, and somebody has the same amount of knowledge, then it's a partnership. It's not the right partnership right now because it's not where the focus and the money and the drive is, right? And I'm so glad I did that. Because there's so many times I know we talked and I was like, dude, would you do wholesaling on industrial? And you're like, yeah, bro, bring them to me. And then I was just like, I feel like I can't give that the same attention, but also like I'm in this spot where it's working. Why change that now? You know?
Agree. Yeah.
And so for you, at what point were you? Because it's kind of funny, like how I see things on Instagram, I'm like, oh shit, he's doing the same thing. Oh fuck, man. Oh, it's kind of cool. Like the career paths link up a little bit. And at what point did you start to go like, okay, I need to build a webinar and a course, and there is something here where there's a value for people, and I could start changing the right direction? You said to me, you were like, there was a point when I was watching all these podcasts, watching all these videos. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go wholesale. I think I got enough from this. I'm going to go do it. Then you went 60 grand in the hole, right? Then one deal came through. It got you out of the hole to break even. And then you're like, okay, there was my learning spot. What happened from day one to day 365, where I was able to fill that hole? And the between that were the sleepless nights, the long days, the nights where you want to go beat the crap out of something, or you just want to go out and have a good dinner. At what point where you got to the spot where, like, obviously we know you've had great success and you've done well, and you've talked a lot about, what changed, what flicked in your head, but what is different when you started your courses, right?
Yeah, so what happened was building businesses is building freedom. It's not, I saw my mom, my dad, my uncles all build businesses where they were slaves to them. And I said, I'm going to build a business that I could get out of. I could go, if I want to work, I'm going to work. If I don't want to work, I don't have to work.
So your analogy, slaves to them.
Yeah, it happens. It happens to every entrepreneur that doesn't think like a business owner. They think like a employee of their own business. And so I always believed in hiring up the food chain and growing people within. And right around the time, I literally got famous on Insta. I just blew up. I just overnight. Yeah. I just got like over 1 million followers, like around 1 million followers on all the platforms. Is right around the time I transitioned out of the company that I had, like the wholesale company. I had transitioned out of the president role. My partner kept running the lending company. He transitioned out of the president as well. But right around the time we both transitioned out was the time I got famous. And everyone started DMing me, oh, please, can you help me? Can you help me? I was like, oh, I'll help you. I'll hop on the phone, spend an hour on the phone with you, coach you up, answer that, like literally hundreds of DMs I would respond to every day. And it would start to piss me off because nobody was actually taking action. So I went to my mentor and I was like, who I pay a lot of money to. I was like, dude, these jamokes aren't taking action. He's like, well, guess what? What do you pay me? I'm like, well, I guess I pay you a lot of money. He goes, if I tell you to jump, you ask me how high, right, Dave? I go, yeah. He goes, you got to charge. If you want someone to change their life, they need to pay the price. That's part of being great. You got to pay the price. And so I thought about it. I was like, what actually changed my life? The masterminds I've been in, the mentors I paid for, right? So I was like, all right, let me do it. And then what I did was I literally took off from work for 6 months, real estate, just stop doing it. And I sat down and I went and I bought a bunch of other mentorships, similar to the one I was thinking about envisioning building.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to make sure that what I put out changed lives. And that it was the number one. I'm very competitive. It needed to be the number one from a product standpoint in changing lives. So I went out, all the best ones I took, and I said, my value proposition, what it costs, from what I'm giving needs to be way better, like light years ahead of everyone in this space. So that's what I built for 6 months, and then it became 9 months, and I finally felt good enough to launch a product where I said, if you come here and you have the will, we're going to change your life.
And what do you think that, like, what do you just said something and you asked me to upstairs and I was like, no, that's not what I want to do. And now I hear you saying, I'm like, fuck, that's what I want to do, right? Like you want to be number one, but you're doing it because you want to change someone's life, right? Yeah. Like what you did changed your life dramatically.
Yeah.
And what was the decision when you said, bam, okay, I figured out what it is. I want to, like, how is your program different than any of your competitors? The number one biggest thing you think?
The number one biggest thing is that there is nobody who's teaching what I'm doing the amount of, listen, if you join what's called Collective Genius, you're going to know every single person in the space and how much revenue they're doing, what their EBITDA is. I know for a fact that there is nobody in this space teaching wholesaling investments on the SFR side that's doing more business than me.
Right. And you're solely Jersey business?
Yeah, North and Central Jersey, doing South a little bit. But I know for a fact from an EBITDA revenue perspective, nobody is doing the amount of deals I'm doing. Nobody's collecting the amount of revenue I'm doing. I'm a real estate guy. It's different from somebody who was in the real estate space doing like 10, 15 deals a month, right? And then they go out and they sell it. You're doing what I'm doing in a week, all month, right? Like you're not, and I'm still scaling up. Like my growth hasn't. I feel like I'm just at my first step. So my goal is to become the #1 single family rental buyer in the country. The Invitation Homes, the American Homes for Rent, those guys are about to kiss my ass, right? And so when we're the
acquisitions.com,
we're about to crush everybody. So as I learn, so does my community.
I love the competition. Like I love the competitiveness, and you have competitiveness with a fucking roadmap.
Yeah,
and you don't get that from people, right? Like it's one thing that I said in the beginning, and I think it really sets a lot of us entrepreneurs apart, is going like, well, I want to be an entrepreneur because I want my own schedule. Well, good luck. That's not being an entrepreneur. That's someone who has no plan, and you're basing being an entrepreneur of like not working 9 to 5.
Yeah.
And you're probably going to still either work 9 to 5 because you're going to restrict yourself to work to those because that's all you care about. Or you're going like, I'm doing something because I want to either make a life-changing product, whether it's in the medical industry, the real estate industry, the service industry. And when you do that, there's a pleasure behind it, right?
Yeah.
Like I go to bed when everything's not going south. But I go to bed nice every night because one of the favorite things I get to do, and I love it to this day, is I get to create an American dream for people, business owners, right? The amount of businesses I have, like we literally just did a deal. We have a small warehouse, about a 60,000 square foot warehouse down the street. It has 2,000 square foot units every room. Kid comes to me, he's 19 years old, okay? And I hope he gets to see this. I know he follows me. He's 19 years old. He sells shoes. And on his tenant application, you make tenants do applications. You put your information, credit reports, and it says reason for moving. My dad wants me to get out of my garage. And I was like, okay, fuck. I look at the income, right? 7 figures.
7 figures.
Yeah. 7 figures. I don't want to put him blasting too much because I know he's going to watch this, right? 7 figures. And I'm like, something's not right here. Like, so I'm thinking about him, and everyone, the emails going back and forth with brokers and our other partners, and they're all like going like, no. And I go, sign this guy up. There's some about me where I'm like, sign this guy up. And everyone's like, are you sure? Like something doesn't seem right. Like how is a 19-year-old 7-figure company selling shoes, leaving his dad's garage? And I was like, that's what I like. Something about this kid I like. Moves into 2,000 square feet, moves in, barricades all the doors and windows in this warehouse. And I'm going like, okay, I need to go down and see this kid. Walk in the warehouse, floor to ceiling full of shoes. And I was like, you need more room? He goes, yeah. We just moved into our warehouse over here that has 18-foot ceilings, 3,000 square feet, and
3,500 square feet.
Yeah, at 3,500 square feet, he'll double his revenue. He's got full team, the racking. And I look at this, I go like, this kid needs someone to believe in him, right? He didn't need some landlord to go like, oh, he's just a kid. He needed, and that's what was going to happen. No one believed him. And maybe some people did, but they were questioning it, right? His dad personally guaranteed the lease. He moved into here. And it's just like, to me, that's what I love. So I saw all these videos of the boot camp that you've been doing, and it looks awesome. Tell me more about it.
It was amazing, man. It really was. A lot of people from that boot camp are now coaches in my program who go out and coach other students because they went from like one guy, Edgar, literally just zero experience in the space. Completely turned his life around, on track to make multiple 6 figures. Josh, he had been in the similar story to me. He burned through all of his cash. He burned through his wife's savings. And now he's like having a $90,000 a month, a $50,000 a month.
Jeez.
Now he's a coach. I actually fly out. I get just countless, so many of these stories. I'm actually flying them all out this Saturday, and we're doing a student draft pick. So because like we do like the coaches. Coaches are students that started from like 0 to 1 deals a month to now doing, at least $500,000 a year.
That's crazy, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I've only been doing this program for 8 months. So like we've completely changed a lot of lives. So these coaches, we're boys, we're fam. Like I don't want to say, but I love these men, and so we're a very competitive group, and so we're doing a draft of the other students, like local markets, like their aptitude for success, and they're competing with one another to literally like to draft a team, and whoever has the most closed revenue,
That's so cool.
Yeah, and the team.
And you just came up with this?
Yeah, it wasn't my idea. It was one of the coach's ideas.
That's so smart.
Yeah, I took him from 1 deal a month, two deals a month. Now he's doing 10 deals a month. And he's only been in the program for like 5 months. So
wow.
So it's so easy to help someone scale when you just did what he just did. You know what I mean? Like, I've just did what you did. There's no reason why I wouldn't help you get to 40 deals a month. Like,
right.
So we're doing a draft pick, and the people that win for the quarter, like most closed revenue, you and your wife, I get all inclusive, Cabo, Tulum, wherever you want to go, like flight and everything. I'll send you guys out. Enjoy. Like, that's like the coaches take like a badge of honor.
Oh shit!
So it's just like a cool.
That's really cool, dude. I mean, that's cool because your team sees that and they see that someone can appreciate that, and I like that. It's just crazy to see how much has changed on your side so much since we've spoken. And honestly, I would like more builds. I like to see more of the inside of the office. That was like my favorite thing. I was like, okay, where are they at with their office? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. And when we were doing that too, people were saying like, what stage you at? What stage you at? And I was like, no, I want to get a little bit farther before I show you things. Yeah. But it's been great. Like, I see you guys, you're doing the bar.
Yeah, we got the speakeasy.
The speakeasy.
Yeah, there's a bank vault door that we bought. It's like 1,500 pounds. The thing that you turn is our logo. So you got to like spin our logo, pull it. It's heavy as
That's
bank
so
vault.
cool.
It's cool, man.
Yeah, it's just things like that. But I love those videos. Let me see some of that.
I'll get you.
I'm just a stickler. It's the real estate side of me. Like, I love the renovation side when you're on job sites and you're running through things. Like, that's so fun to me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, we're getting to the end here. Give a little bit of advice on two things. One, you blew up on social media. What is the number one thing? And this is good because our last podcast we just had, we had Johnny Drinks from, I don't know if you've heard of him. He blew up on TikTok a lot, and we talked about social media side on him and his father. So I like asking people in the social media field, what do you think is your number one recommendation for people who are getting into social media but have no direction of getting to the next level, right? Whether it's getting to your first 1,000 or 10,000 or 400.
I can only give practical advice to people already in business, right? But if you're in business, what I would say is just capture what you do every day, Gary Vee style. That's what I do. Like, literally, I captured me on the phones. The first viral reel I had was me training a group of new sales hires and me getting cursed out. Like, the guy literally just decimated me. I was like, no, part of the game. And I was like, oh, people like me on the phone. So I got next one going viral. Next one. I was like, all right, I'll stay on the phone. But now my next hire, this guy's literally going to come to my house. I said, look, the life you want to live, you will be best friends, but you got to be at my house at 6 a.m. and you're probably not going to go home till 9 p.m., like 3 days a week. Because I just want you filming me literally all day long. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Oh, so new film hire.
Yeah, new cameraman. So there's a cameraman and an intern is just going to literally, not an intern anymore, he's so he's like backup cameraman. They come to my house at 6 a.m. and they just film me. This is a new thing. They're going to film me for 3 straight days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And from there, cool. they just need to get, I think the natural stuff where you don't, like, I used to do talking head reels where I used to go and I would yell at the camera and we'd go, whatever, try to say something trendy. Or I hated that. It was the worst thing ever. I hated it. It took energy out of me. But just naturally, day to day, as a business owner, the amount of crap you have to go through, there is drama, there's tension, there's education all throughout the day that needs to be captured into fire as reels. No business owner has a simple life.
No.
If you a business owner that wants to grow does not have a simple life, right? So I think that's the best content, the most organic, natural content. Now, for your creative team, it's a lot more work. It is significantly harder to capture reels out of live organic stuff than it is from you sitting in a camera and talking to it. Obviously, I'm giving you literally the reel right there. But the organic stuff, that's what the people want to see. That's the only advice I have. Just
film you.
Just film you. Yeah. Just have a cameraman. Then have someone that can take that stuff and turn it into reels.
That's really good. Yeah, God, everyone just says the same thing. Like,
that's what everyone says.
Film something. Like, he said to me, he's like, film 10 videos, post all 10, see which one gets the most views, Do that. Do a video like that again. Do 3 of them. See which one goes viral. Right, and viral could be 400 views for you. Could be 100,000 views for you.
Yeah.
Right, and then stick to just doing that. Stop trying to do everything, and going like, well, maybe one will catch. I'll keep doing that. Like, find something that works and keep doing it. Right, and the day-to-day stuff is so popular these days. So my last thing to you is, I'm starting a company, and I'm either in the same spot or have nothing. Right, what keeps me motivated every day to keep going? What kept you motivated every day, even though you knew you were losing money and you knew maybe there would be a breaking point, maybe something like, what kept you going every day?
Like, I'm Christian. My father's a missionary. He's a born-again Christian. Jesus Christ saved my life. He really did. He does miracles in my life I can't even explain. You wouldn't even believe the miracles if I told you right now. Mm-hmm. And he put in my life a very clear calling. In about 39 months from now, I'm going to be out of the game. I'm done. I'm going to leave the business world, and I'm going to just serve the kingdom full time.
Really?
And yeah, I'm just going to, it's the way I want to live. It's the best. This is the best thing I could ever do in my life. But, and quite frankly, my tithing every single year goes up 10%. My charity goes up for my income. So by the time 2031 rolls around, I'm going to be living on 10% of the money that I make. And I have needs, okay? I like driving nice cars. I want nice things. So 10% of the money I make needs to be a lot of money. So,
and is this a decision you're making?
I just made it. I made a deal with God, and I've been sticking to it. And every single year, God has blessed me more and more and more. So I'm good with it. I don't need to have. In fact, I've been hearing about people, the Christians that I know, some of them literally make millions and millions, like $15 million a year, and they're okay with just $200,000. And they say, that's what I need, and I'm going to give the rest away. So for me, it's like, I just want to do, I think the 90-10 split is pretty cool. I'll take 10. I know I'm going to make more than $200,000 with 10%, you know? So I feel good about it. I really love what I do every day. Our mission is to create millionaires through real estate. And that means all the young men and the young women in my office that have aspirations to make, or even not the young, but just people even older than me, they have aspirations. I know I can make an impact on their life.
Yeah.
It's exciting. People in my community that trusted me and invested into the program, I love them. It's my mission to help them become millionaires because I know what the money could do. Mm-hmm. You can retire your mom. You can retire your dad. You can take care of the people you love. It allows you to take care of your local community, your churches. It allows you to just go to dinner and not have to look at the bill. Things like that matter, you know? So I really love what I do. I do. I'm excited for the next part of my life, but for now, I 6 days a week, working 6 days a week is light work for me when I love what I do every day.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time.